Hello everyone, this is Prashant Reddy, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So we are in the lecture series of thermodynamics, and the previous video we discussed about the zeroth law of thermodynamics. Now we are going to discuss something more details on work, how we evaluate a work one form to other. So when you go for a work, we generally discuss the piston displacement. Okay, so what is a piston displacement and all the things we'll discuss, right? So work. So there are two types of work: reversible work and irreversible work that we'll discuss previously. So for now we'll go in for reversible work. So work is said to be done when a force moves through a distance. We call it there is a work is done on it. If a part of the boundary of a system undergoes a displacement under the action of pressure, the work done W is product of the force into area of cross section and distance it moves in the direction of force. So this is our reversible work. Okay, sign convention in a previous law we also discussed, but just we can come back again. If the work is done by the system on the surroundings, that means when a fluid expand pushing a piston to outward. Okay, that means a fluid expansion is taking place, that you call as a positive work. That means the work output of the system you call as a positive. And the same case, when system volume is contract with respect to the surroundings, then you call as a work input, or you can call as a negative work, minus W. Right? Next. So if you go for a piston displacement condition, so we take this example and we do the real-time application of work, how we use the work and how you evaluate it. Right? So let us consider an ideal frictionless fluid contained inside a cylinder above a piston. So this is assume this is a piston cylinder. In this piston cylinder I have a ideal frictionless fluid I have. So assume that the pressure and temperature of the fluid are uniform and that there is no friction between the piston and the cylinder walls. Assume there is a piston cylinder, inside there is ideal gas, and assume there is no friction between the piston cylinder walls, Okay, so cross section area of this the piston is, you take area A, and the pressure inside that one is pressure P. Okay, so P minus dP means that dP is nothing but change in pressure. Okay, into A is equal to resting force exerted by the surroundings on the piston. That is P minus dP into A is nothing but resting force exerted by the surroundings on the piston, and dl is the distance moved by the piston under the action of force exerted on it. That means it is a piston cylinder. Okay, due to the application of some amount of force, it moves the some amount of dl amount of distance. Okay, the amount of force applied is P minus dP into A, cross sectional area A. Okay, this is a piston, right? So same, we can to find the work done on this one, the work done by the fluid on the piston is given by the force times the distance moved. That means force times the distance moved, F into dl. So what is the force here? How we calculate the force? We know that pressure is a function of force by area. To find the force applied on the piston, F is equal to P into A. Right? The same you applied here. The work is F into dl, and F is nothing but PA into dl. This is called as a work, PA into dl. And we know that area and length, that means area and the length is we can call as, that means area into length is what we call the volume. We call as a volume. So it is a volume. So that I can say that P into A into dl I can write in terms of P into change in volume. Okay, because it is a change in length, I can write in terms of change in length. Where dV is a small increment, small change in volume or small increase or decrease in volume. Okay, or considering the unit mass of work done is a W is equal to, we call as a PdV. Okay, this is standard form of work done on a piston displacement, or we can also call piston displacement work. But when it is true, this is have some limitations, right? So when it is becomes true, this is only true when the process is frictionless. So between the piston and the cylinder, the walls between the piston and cylinder, you assume that, or if it is a frictionless condition only, then this work is happening. Otherwise, the work is lost to the friction, right? And second case, the difference in pressure between the fluid and the surroundings during the process is infinitely small. Okay, during the process of pressure between the fluid and surroundings, the process is called as an infinitely small process. And hence, when a reversible process takes place between the stage 1 to 2, we can say that work done by the unit mass of fluid is equal to integral of 1 to 2 into PdV. So what is a 1 to 2? This is, for example, if you take initially piston is at position this one, then if the piston is moved to this position, that means this is a change in length. Okay, that means it is position 1, this is a position 2, that we call as a PdV, integral of 1 to 2. That means if you do the integration of this one, you get the work done. Okay, so this is a work done on PV coordinates. You say this one, so work done on PV coordinates, right? So this is a small change in volume. With respect to small change in volume, you find the remaining one. Okay, so the PV diagram is looking at this one. From stage 1 to from stage 2, the area under this curve we call as a work done. Okay, so if it is a non-flow process, the area under this curve called work done. Area under the curve we call as work done. Okay, so this is a example for that one. Okay, you see this is a PV diagram for that piston displacement. The area under this curve we call as a work done. Okay, I take an example of this one. Okay, I will have a one small example of this one. So example is that the gas from a cylinder of compressed helium is used to inflate an elastic flexible balloon. Okay, there is a balloon, it is going to fill with a compressed helium. That means this body will have a helium. Okay, originally the folded completely flat. That means initially the balloon is, this is what initial balloon, that is completely flat. There is no air in that one. From the initially complete flat to volume 0.6 meter cube. Okay, actually it is meter cube. So we changing the volume to 0.6 to 0.6 meter cube. So initially it is 0, no, nothing is there. Then we'll change it to the 0.6 meter cube amount of volume. If the barometer reads 760 mm of Hg, that means inside the gas, the barometer reads 760 mm of Hg, then what is the amount of work done upon the atmosphere by the balloon? So of course, it is a helium is filling this balloon, right? So due to the filling of the helium, so inside this one, it is shows the 760 mm of Hg. The barometer reading shows that outside of the atmosphere is 760 mm of Hg. So due to this one, what happened? How much amount of work is done on the atmosphere of this balloon? Okay, the sketch. So this is the basic system, and now we know that what is the work. So work done by cylinder plus work done by balloon is equal to the work done on system. That means what is system? It is a atmosphere. So this is, if you take this is a cylinder, inside cylinder there is a helium gas. It is already compressed form. Okay, so it is this whatever the cylinder have, it have a boundary B1 and inside gas having a boundary B2, we assume, and initially the balloon is in a flat condition. Then it is reaches to the volume of 0.6 meter cube, and when it is come to the 0.6 volume, when it is open, the volume V. Okay, so this is the initial conditions, right? At this initial conditions, what happened is, see, simple. So at this initial condition, I open the valve. So we assume this is a fixed cylinder. That means it is a solid cylinder. Okay, there is no change of volume for the cylinder. Even though you are drawing air from the cylinder, assume that there is no volume change. The cylinder is rigid. Okay, so assume that one, and but it is a balloon, right? It is a rubber one. So it can change its volume, because if you fill the air or if you fill the helium into that one, it changes the volume of that one. So to find the work done, you want to know that what is the work is done by the cylinder and what is the work done by the balloon to the surroundings, right? Both work is equal to the total work done. So it is removing the, so how much it is removing, that means how much amount of work is done by the cylinder is stored to the balloon, right? So that you have to take a both. So here, because the cylinder is a rigid one, there is no change in volume. That means dV is equal to 0. Change in volume is 0. So dV value 0 means the work done by cylinder is also equal to 0. But here the balloon is expanding, so that dV value is changing. How much it is changing? From 0 to 0.6 meter cube. So it is changing the volume from 0 to 0.6 meter cube. So that much amount of work is doing. And at what pressure conditions? At a pressure of 760 mm of Hg. What is 760 mm of Hg? It is atmospheric pressure. We know that 760 mm of Hg is equal to 101.325 kilopascals. This is we call as a P atmosphere. Just before we discussed, in a previous video we discussed, right? So substitute the value of P. What is a P? It is, so you assume that if you integrate this one, P balloon is equal to P dV, that is equal to P into V2 minus V1. What is P? It is 101.325 into, what is the volume? 0.620. Initially it is 0. So that if you multiply these two, you will get the 60.795 kilojoules of work is done by the balloon to the surroundings. So you understand, right? So this much amount of work is done by the balloon to the surroundings. Okay, that is the problem. Okay, this is a positive work. This is positive work because work is done by the system and work done by the atmosphere pressure is minus 60. So if you assume in terms of balloon, it is for the balloon it is a positive work because work done on the system. But okay, but for the atmosphere it is negative. Okay, so since the walls of cylinder is rigid, so that there is no PDE work involved in it. So that we will take that there is no work involved by the cylinder because the walls of cylinder is rigid, and we say that for the atmosphere it is negative, for the balloon it is positive, we take, right? There is one more example, okay, similar to the work and conditions. A piston and cylinder mechanism containing a fluid system has a steering device as shown. Okay, there is a piston cylinder mechanism like this one, and there is one more thing called there is a steering weight is added here in a figure, right? The piston is frictionless. Whatever this friction is easily frictionless, there is easily move to forward and backward, and it is held down against the fluid, and it is held down against the fluid, right? So inside it is a fluid, it is held down, right? Due to the atmospheric pressure of 101.3 kilopascals, due to the atmosphere pressure of 101.325 pascals, because it is held to the some position, right? The steering device is turned to 950 revolutions, so it is revolving. That means whatever it is revolving has a RPM of 950 revolutions with an average torque against this is 1.25 Newton meter. The torque applied on this one is 1.25 Newton meter. Meanwhile, the piston of 0.65 m, that means 0.65 meter diameter, moves out of 0.6. So due to that doing of this work, what happened? It moves to 0.6 meters outward. Find the net work transfer by for the system. How much amount of work is transferred? The meaning of this question is that, so there is a system, okay, there is a frictionless piston cylinder is there, inside there is a fluid is there. Addition to that one, we have some rotating of fan type of thing. That means it is a torque creator, okay. So it is have inside that one steering device we have, okay. That steering device produces a torque of how much it is? 1.25 Newton meter torque it is producing, and it is revolute with the RPM n of And how much it is? 950 rpm. Okay, because of doing this work, what happened? The piston is moved the backward of, that means from here to here it is 0.6 meters. The and also he given the diameter of piston is 0.65 meters. Okay, and he tells that atmosphere pressure is 101.325 kilopascals. With reference to this one, how much amount of work is done on the system we are going to find. The first one is, initially what happened, what is the work done by the steering system. Okay, first we have to consider the steering system condition. So work done by steering system is W is equal to 2 pi nt. That means it is a standard work, that means a work done by the system formula, that is 2 pi n, nothing but it is a angular velocity, T is a torque on acting on that one. He given that n is something around 950, that means 9500 rpm, and torque given is 1.25 Newton meter. Substitute these values in this one. In W1 is equal to 2 pi into n is nothing but 9500 into 1.25. If you substitute these values, you get the some amount of Newton meter of this one. That means the some amount of work you get. That is equal to, if you convert in terms of kilojoules, that is 74.622 kilojoules of work. This is negative work for the system. Why? Because it is done on the system. Okay, next. Second, this is a one case, right? Because you are supplying some torque, it is happening there. But because of doing this one, there is a piston displacement will happen. Okay, so the work done by the system upon the surroundings. Okay, how it is doing? Because the steering device is rotated inside. Due to that rotation, what happened? The piston is moved somewhat outward. So due to the outward motion of piston, what happened? There is some amount of work is done by the surroundings. So how much amount of work is done on the surroundings, we are going to find out, right? So that work is nothing but how we can divide P into, that means the pressure outside into area into length of movement. Okay, so volume of movement we can simply say. We know that what is the pressure in that? 101.325 kilopascals of pressure, that means atmospheric pressure, and the area of the piston is pi by 4 into d square, that is 0.65 square. If you find the area, you will get the 0.3318 meter square. Right. Next, distance. How much distance it is moved? It moves 6.6 meters. So now substitute the values of PAL. You have 101.325 kilopascals into 0.3318 meter square and 0.6. If you substitute this one, you get this much amount of work done by the piston movement. Previously, you get the 74.622 and now you get the 20.167. But previously, it is a negative work. Now it is a positive work. Here, it is work done on the system. Here, it is work done by the system. You understand, right? If you understand, if you take the total thing, that means the piston cylinder mechanism you have assumed as a system, because of this torque creator, that means because of stirrer doing a work on piston cylinder. Due to that, you can say that this is a work done on the system, right? But because of doing of this stirring, what happened? The piston is moving. So here the piston is done the work, nothing but work done by the system. So because of steering doing the work, so that it is negative. Because of piston movement, it is called as positive. So that's why you take this as a positive, you take that this is negative. Now what is the total work? So summation of both. So net work is that W1 plus W2. So but W1 is a minus 74.622 and W2 is 20.167. So total value of net work is minus 54.55 kilojoules. Okay, this is a total net work is done by the steering and a piston cylinder mechanism. Right? This is a second example for that one. Okay, there is a one more example we have. The properties of a closed system change following the relation between the pressure and volume. As PV is equal to 3 where P is in a bar, V is in a meter cube. Right? Calculate the work done when the pressure increases from 1.5 to 7.5. Right? So, he given initial pressure P1 is 1.5 bar. Okay? Final pressure is 7.5 bar. Right? So, but he given the equation is PV is equal to constant. The constant value is 3. Okay, 3.0. Understand, right? PV is equal to constant equation. In that PV is equal to constant, that PV is equal to 3. That is PV's constant value is 3. Okay, and given the initial pressure is 1.5 and the final pressure is 7.5. And what you given? Alright. So here he given the condition is that what is the work done on that. Okay, next. Right. So from this one we can find that W is equal to integral of V1 to V2 into PdV. We know that equation, the work equation. Right. Next, we know that P1 V1 is equal to 3. P2 V2 also is equal to 3 because it is a constant is 3. So P1, how much it is P1? It is a P1 is 1.5 into V1 is equal to 3. That means V1 how much we get? 3 by 1.5. That means 2. Here also what is V2? It is 7.5 into V2 is equal to 3. V2 is equal to 3 by 7.5. You will get the some value of 0.4. Right? You will get the 0.42. That means you get the volumes. Now, how much amount of work? It is very easy to find, right? So, you know that work is equal to 10 power of 5. That means because you are converted to in terms of bar, whatever you have bar. So, 1.5 bar means 1.5 into 10 power of 5 pascals. Okay. So, 7.5 means 7.5 into 10 power of 5 pascals. Or nothing but Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square. Right? So, W is equal to 10 power of 5 integral of, so what is the limitations? It is from 2 to 0.4. 2 to 0.4. That means volume is decreasing. By what is a, so instead of, see you are taking this one, P in terms of 3. That means we know that this equation, right? So, V is equal to, that means, sorry, P is equal to 3 by V. You convert the P in terms of V. That means 3 by V you take it into dV. You do the equation, what you get? Integral of V, what you get? Log V2 by V1. Okay, you do this equation, you get the value of W. So, we get the minus 483 kilojoules. Right? This is the equation to find this one. Okay. So, this is a method to find your equation of how much amount of work is done. Right? Next. We already previously discussed what is the path function. So, we have one more for the piston displacement. The path function. If a system from a state 1 to state 2 along many quasi-static paths such as A, B or C. See what I am doing. The system is doing a work from 1 to 2 in a paths A, B, C. Right? You are doing this. I am doing some work from 1 to 2 only, but in a 3 different paths. In a path A, path B, path C. Okay. Since the area under the each curve represent the work done for the each process, the amount of work involved in each case is not a function of the end state of the process. Right? So, what is the meaning of this? Means, see, we just before we discussed that area under the curve is work done. So, assume for the 1 to 2 in a path A, okay, this is the area under the curve. Right? For the same, for path B, this is the area under the curve. Okay. For the same, for path C, this is the area under the curve. If you assume this one, which is having more volume, so this is having more amount of area, right? And this is second more amount of area. This is third. Okay, if this is the first one. So path C having a more area of area. Due to that, what happened? The work done for the path C is more, but end process is same. The statement is state that. So meaning that it is doing a same work of a starting point, end point is same, but it is doing a work in three different forms. End process is same, but the work done on the systems is three different processes. Okay, so from that we can say that it depends on the path the system follows in a going from state 1 to 2. So how much amount of work you are consuming, how much amount of work you are getting is depends on what path you are selecting. It is depends on that one. So that's why it is the work done is not depends on the state of starting point or state of end point. It is depends on the what path you are taking. It is depends on the parameter, right? So work is called a path function, and work is an inexact or imperfect differential. So we cannot say that, we say that inexact and imperfection. So path function is that one. What is a point function? So point function is that the thermodynamic properties are point functions since for a given state there is a different value of each property. There is a different value of each property. Okay, if it is a different values of each property, then you can call as point function. The change in that means the change in thermodynamic property of a system and a change of state is independent or path the system following during the change or state, and depends only on the initial and final state of the system. And if you want to say it is a point function, the differentials of the point functions are exact or perfect differentials, and the integration is simply. Okay, if it is a path function, the differential are inexact, right? In a point function, it is exact differentials. Next, the change on volume thus depends only on end state of the system, irrespective of path the system follows. So that means in a path function, the change in that means the work done is follow the path, right? So what path following the work done we decide. But in a point function, it is depends on only end points, nothing but starting point and end point. But it does not depends on path of the system. So that's why we call the whatever system we have, we call as a point functions. So we have integral of v1 to v2 dv is equal to v2 minus v1 is example for this one. Point function, right? Okay. For a cyclic process, the initial and final state of the system are the same. Okay, for a cyclic process, initial and final systems are same, and hence the change in any property is 0. That means in the cyclic integral of dv is equal to 0, or cyclic integral of dp is 0, cyclic integral of dt also 0. That means change for a cyclic process, it everything same. So you can say that, right? Where the symbols denotes the cyclic integral of a closed path, the cyclic integral of a path is always 0, right? So cyclic integral is like that one. Next, there are different processes we involve. That means in thermodynamic systems, we have a different PDV works in a various quasi-static processes. So out of that, before classification of this one, I just want to classify one more system, that is flow and non-flow process. So we call as a flow process and non-flow process. Flow process and non-flow process. Okay, what is a flow process? I give some example. So I take example of some nozzle. Okay, so nozzle, what is the function of nozzle? So it changes the velocity v1 to v2. Okay, nothing but v2 greater than v1. That means it is increases the velocity from state 1 to state 2. Nothing but it increases the kinetic energy at state 1 is less than kinetic energy at state 2. That means it is increase the kinetic energy. Okay, so that is a function of nozzle, right? It is a nozzle. If you take, okay, so what happened here is how it is doing, some mass is flowing over this one. Some mass is flowing over this one and doing some work. That's why we call this type of system called flow type of systems. And we comes for the classify under the flow process. And there is a one more process are there called non-flow process. So what is a non-flow means? Just before we taken some piston cylinder mechanism, inside there is a gas is there. If it is a temperature increases, the gas is increases and piston also move. And if the temperature decreases, gas is also compressed and piston moves inward direction. Here what happened is just the same gas without flowing outside, only what it is do, it is only do the work done. so that there is no chances of moving a substance to the outside. That means the flowability is we are not expecting from that, right? That type of system we call as a non-flow process. The flow process and non-flow process. In both conditions, we again classify the processes under the depends on the environmental conditions. That means working condition. We classify the process again isochoric process, isobaric process, and isothermal process, adiabatic process, and polytropic process. So what is isobaric process means? If a system is working at constant pressure conditions, that we call as a isobaric process. Okay, if a system working at constant volume conditions, that we call as a isochoric process. Okay, if a system work at constant temperature conditions, that you call as a isothermal process. Okay, if a system work at a constant rate of heat transfer, that means the change of heat transfer is negligible condition, then we can call as a adiabatic process. And the polytropic means that may be of anything, that may be of any value of PV power n. So polytropic means PV power n is equal to constant. Okay, that means it is PV power n is equal to constant. In adiabatic, it is PV power gamma is equal. PV power gamma is equal to constant. Right. So this is the classification of different processes. Right. In the same, all these five will exist in both flow process and non-flow process. How it is exhibited we'll learn in the next coming cases. We'll learn in the next coming class videos. But just I want to give the introduce for this one in such a way that in a flow process we discuss in such a way that in a non-flow process we discuss in such a way that in a non-flow process we say that area under this curve you call as work done, just to be defined. But in a non-flow in a flow process, area to the left of this one you call as a work done. Okay, so how it is means you draw the PV diagram. Draw the PV diagram for both the cases at different conditions. Okay, if you want to find the work done with respect to the PV diagram in the flow process, area to the left of the PV diagram you call as a work done. So you find what is the amount of area, then you can say that it is that much amount of work is done. In this case, in a non-flow process, you draw the PV diagram and the area under this curve you consider as a amount of work done on that system. Okay, work done in the left side of this one you call as a flow process, work done on the bottom of this one that is under the curve we call as a non-flow process. Right, this is the individual isobaric, isochoric and isothermal process we'll discuss in the coming videos, and we'll evaluate the what is a work on this one. Right, but by the time you please remember in such a way that isobaric means, so isochoric process means the process happened at a constant volume condition. Isobaric means at a constant pressure conditions if it happened. Isothermal process means at temperature constant, and adiabatic process means PV power gamma is equal to constant, and polytropic means PV power n is equal to constant. This is a system happened, then you can call as these different things. Right. So I'll tell you a few examples for this one. So when we can expect this constant volume and constant pressure conditions means, see, I take an example of same piston and cylinder. Okay, I take a piston and cylinder. So inside the pressure is P. Inside the pressure is P, and what I am doing, I am giving us amount of heat input to this one. I am giving us some heat input to this one. Because of heat input, what happened inside the gases slowly get heated up. Okay, once it is getting heated up, what happened? It is the volume also goes on increases. That means the volume of gases also goes on increases. So due to that, what happened? The piston moves outward direction. But here, if you assume this is a frictionless condition, the pressure we maintain constant, but only volume is moves. Okay, if you draw the PV diagram for this one, the pressure, initial pressure is this one, final pressure is also same, but the volume is initially V1, the final volume is V2, but the pressure you are constant pressure. This is an example for that. Same piston cylinder, okay, you have a piston cylinder, but you arrest this piston with some supports. You are restricting the motion in this direction, but you are heating this one. In this case, what happened? The volume inside the gas is what happened? It is slowly get heated up. Due to that, what happened? The volume you maintain constant, but inside the pressure is increases from P1 to P2. That means initial pressure to final pressure. If you draw the PV diagram for this one, what have you get? It is the volume is you are maintaining constant volume, V volume, but initial pressure is P1, the final pressure is P2. That means this is the one. You can see that diagram, PV diagram for that one. So assume this is a PV. Okay. So like this, you calculate many of the systems in a real-time applications. Okay. So this is a very basic introduction and things for the system. And while you come to the next video, you please understand what is isothermal process, what is adiabatic process, what is a polytropic process, what is a isobaric process, what is isochoric process. Everything you learned in the basic class itself. But why, if you want to learn everything, just you go further, go back again, you'll see the things, and then come back to the next video. And thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.